দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি নিটল টাটা মুখোমুখিতে আজকের পর্বে। আজকে আমরা কথা বলবো রোহিঙ্গা সংকটের একটা ভিন্ন মাত্রা নিয়ে। ভিন্ন মাত্রাটা হচ্ছে এরকম যে একজন আমেরিকান তিনি বাংলাদেশে এসেছেন, নিজ যুগে নিজ অর্থায়নে একটি ডকুমেন্টারি ফিল্ম বানাচ্ছেন রোহিঙ্গাদের দুর্দশা নিয়ে, এবং সেটা তিনি পুরো বিশ্বকে দেখাতে যান। আমরা পরিচয় করে দিচ্ছি আজকে অতিথি অ্যালেক্স ব্লাম, প্রেসিডেন্ট বোর্ড অফ ডিরেক্টরস ব্লাম ফ্যামিলি ফাউন্ডেশনস।
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. Documentary film you're making is called Blossoms from the Ashes, right?
Blossoms from Ash, yeah.
What does it mean?
Blossoms from Ash essentially signifies the hope of the children in Ukhiya camp and Rohingya refugee camps all around Bangladesh. It is our view that there is hope, but they need help. And this is why we are making this film, is to raise awareness in the West of the honor of Bangladesh for taking care of these people, and that this is not a hopeless situation. You'll see in our trailer, there's a young boy who says, I want to be a doctor because I want to help many people. And we believe that the reason that he has this hope to be a doctor is the trauma that he experienced in Myanmar, watching his family be killed by the military. He sees this and he wants to help as a result. So the ashes are their current situation and what happened in Myanmar. The blossoms are the children and the hope for the future.
And let's look at the trailer and then we'll come back to the discussion.
Excellent.
দর্শক আমরা সেই ডকুমেন্টারি ফিল্মের ট্রেলারটা দেখে আসি।
লাই হদে মিছা হতা হন নিয়ার মানে হাসে বেটা আরো বালা বেশ আরো বেশি বালা।
I want to be a doctor because I want to help many people.
Sildin apa tu berarti ubah boran ni tin ubah saya lagi antar ubah boran ni tin.
Juana orang nodi, arar bor. Biagu marai. Albana zaman gashi dek gaya marai. Thar bui.
আমরা দেখছিলাম সেই ট্রেলারটি। What's your feeling when did you shoot? You've met so many people who've been raped, people whose brothers, whose mothers or sisters been raped, or fathers and mothers been killed, and they had to spend even money to come to Bangladesh, right?
My primary feeling is anger. I have much hope for these people, and that's why I'm here in Bangladesh. But at the same time, this was unnecessary. The UN found that this was a premeditated act of slaughter. The terrorism that Myanmar claims occurred barely occurred, and it was very small scale. And their response to drive out over 1 million people from their homes, from their places of work, from their dignity, and force them into these camps that have been hastily constructed out of bamboo and plastic. I'm angry about that. I truly am. These people didn't deserve it. The people that we spoke to are teachers, are doctors. They're good people. They didn't deserve this, and certainly the children didn't deserve this, and they don't understand why this happened. So it's a deep feeling of sadness. We were there with them over Eid. And what we witnessed was, of course, the happiness of Eid, the festivities. But if you watch the people closely, you see that if they ever drift away from the celebration for a moment, their faces change. The joy that they had just in the moment of the festivities goes away, because the reality of where they are and what they've been through sets back in.
It's not their motherland.
It's true. And the worst part is that they can see Myanmar from Ukhiya camp. All you have to do is climb the hill and you can see home, but you cannot go home. And this is a tragedy. So you ask how I feel angry.
How long you spent in the camps?
We spent 1 week in the camps. My crew spent 4 weeks in the camps gathering footage.
And where do you find the funds to make the film?
This is all my personal funds. So I work for...
And if I'm not wrong, you're a software salesman?
Yes, I am a software salesman. This is the first film I've ever produced. I work for a company called Thousand Eyes that does network monitoring software. They were kind enough to allow me to work with some of the largest companies in the world, and this spring I earned a large amount of sales commission. As a result, I was able to clear my own personal debts, and then I took every dollar that I had and I brought it here to Bangladesh because I believe this is a very important issue and I really wanted to help.
And how do you find the news from Texas? Because you live in Texas, right?
That's true, yeah. I think this is a larger issue as well, is that America, many people in America could not find Bangladesh on a map. And this is not an insult to the intelligence of Americans. It's just it's a small country, land-wise. But further, they don't know what's going on with the Rohingya. The news media here in Bangladesh has done a very good job of covering this, but until the UN released their findings last week that this was a pre-planned genocide, no Americans knew that this was happening. So how I found out is a deep friendship I have with a man named Shafayat Faraizi. He's actually one of the first Bangladeshi American actors, and we've known each other for a decade. And we've talked for many years about coming to Bangladesh. So as a big consumer of the news and politics and things like this, Bangladesh has always been on my radar. So that being said, when this began to happen, I watched with interest. I had hoped that, as in the past, the UN or Myanmar or Bangladesh would come to an agreement in 3 to 6 months, as this happens every 5 to 10 years. But instead, it got much worse. It did not follow the historical pattern. And so about 6 months ago, I thought to myself, this is different. This is 1 million people. It's usually 30 to 50,000. This is 1 million people. It's so much worse than it was before. And I said, I have to do something. I want to share.
Then you came here and made the documentary, right?
Exactly.
On this part of discussion, we have to take the first break and we'll come back and discuss more.
Excellent.
দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম রোহিঙ্গাদের কষ্ট কিভাবে একজন আমেরিকানকে বাংলাদেশে টেনে এসেছে সেই বিষয়ে। তিনি বলছিলেন তার অভিজ্ঞতার কথা, কিভাবে তিনি জানতে পারলেন সেই দুর্দশার খবর। সেই বিষয়ে তিনি যে ডকুমেন্টারি ফিল্ম বানাচ্ছেন এই বিষয়ে আমরা আরো কথা বলবো, তবে সাথেই থাকুন, ফিরছে একটা ছোট্ট বিরতির পর। দর্শক, আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি নিটল টাটা মুখোমুখিতে আরও একবার। বিরতির আগে আমরা কথা বলছিলাম অ্যালেক্স ব্লামের যে ডকুমেন্টারি ব্লসমস ফ্রম দ্য অ্যাশ সেটা নিয়ে। অ্যালেক্স, how long is the documentary and what message you're really carrying for the world?
So the documentary is approximately 1 hour long. We don't have the final cut yet, but the message of the film is essentially threefold. So what we want to show is the history of the Arakan, of the Rohingya, why they are where they are, why they have been where they have been, and what's happening now. And that is essentially the beginning of the film. The middle and the end are essentially two messages. One is that 58% of these refugees are children.
Right.
We follow the stories of 3 refugees, a little girl and 2 boys. One of them, luckily, her family survived. Another lost his father along the way, and the other has no family left at all, and he's only 6 years old. So we want to show what's happened to these people. And lastly, we want our audience to come away with a message of hope with help, which is that these children have hope if they can get help. We are in a critical situation right now. Bangladesh has been amazing in taking care of these people, but the agencies that fund the relief effort are badly underfunded. In particular, UNICEF, the one that handles education and some housing, is only at 34% of their necessary budget, and these people are going to starve. 6 weeks from...
Do you have any connection with UNICEF?
We do, yes. I'm speaking with their communications director, Karen Reedy. We hope to do some more work with them in the future. In fact, the mobile school that we'll be talking about later is intended for the use by UNICEF.
Okay. And before the break, you were saying that people from Texas or in the US didn't know much before the fact-finding mission report came out. Why is that? Do you think the international media failed to reach the Native Americans in Evden, knocking their their doors, or the more focus should be given?
I do think that the international media failed. You know, it pains me to attack the press because I think that the press does a very important job. But in the U.S., we're so obsessed with whatever color of lipstick Beyonce is wearing today.
Yeah.
You know, and beyond this, this is not a politically advantageous crisis. For instance, with Syria, with the refugees that go to Europe, this is a politically advantageous crisis. Those on the far right wing who want us to reject refugees from our countries, from our homes, from our communities, they have an agenda. And so they whip up fear about these people, but only from the Middle East and Central America. And they say, you know, they're bringing crime, they're bringing all these bad things. But the Rohingya don't affect that. The Rohingya are not a threat to the United States, but I guarantee you, if they wanted to immigrate to the United States, we would hear the exact same fear-mongering from the far-right wing on
So
these
it's again
people.
the political will of the state government or something like
I
that?
believe so, yeah, and I think that the press has a role in this, that scary stories are profitable, you know?
Yes,
if it
obviously.
bleeds, it leads, we say in the U.S. And the Rohingya are bleeding, but they're not bleeding on U.S. soil. They're not bleeding on European soil. And this is why I think the international media has not done a good job
Because
of
they're
covering
not,
this.
they won't serve their purpose or something like that?
Exactly, exactly.
So, how many people you did interview in your documentary?
At least 15. We've spoken not only with the Rohingya, with one of their wonderful headmasters. He runs 12 schools, and you know, he was a teacher back in Myanmar as well. We've also got a former U.S. Congressman, Jim Bates, Executive Director of the United States Bangladeshi Friendship Group, and Dr. Rabi Alam, who is the president of the same group, have both agreed to speak with us. And also the Honorable Information Minister, Inu, has agreed to speak with us for the documentary as well.
We'll talk about more and then we have to go for another break. দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম অ্যালেক্স ব্লামের সাথে তার ডকুমেন্টারিটি নিয়ে। আমরা আলোচনায় থাকবো, আলোচনা আরও বেশ কিছু বিষয় উঠে আসবে, সাথে থাকুন, ফিরছি একটু পর। আমন্ত্রণ আরও একবার নিটল টাটা মুখোমুখিতে কথা বলছিলাম অ্যালেক্স ব্লামের সাথে। অ্যালেক্স, I would really wonder why you're here.
I want to share a quote with you by the Rabbi Hillel. He says, if I am not for myself, then who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? So the reason I'm here is because I don't think that people are doing enough to help here. And this is a critical situation that needs help. And if no one else will do it, why not me?
So you're acting now. Okay, I got your feeling. That's a very strong feeling. So what are you going to do with the fund you're going to make after you film or on air the documentary?
Well, I do hope that we make some money on this, but you know, we'll be distributing in Bangladesh, India, UK, EU, and the US. If this film makes any money, the intention is to fund my foundation called Blum Family Foundation. And our first program of Blum Family Foundation will be my life's work. It is called Ending Statelessness Through Education. The purpose of this is to provide education for all stateless persons. So all children who are affected by the poor decisions of political leaders, you know, this is no fault of their own. This is something that has been done to them. And only one thing can really take them out of this situation, because I cannot change the political situation.
Right.
You cannot change the political situation.
So are you going to make any school for the Rohingya kids?
Absolutely. So this is exactly what I want to do. Is I want to give them the opportunity to work as they reach the age of majority. As I said earlier, 58% of the refugees are children. Only half of them are able to get an education right now in the camps. And those that do receive an education get only 2.5 hours of instruction every day. This is less than half of what most children get. So the concept is to use the funds from the film to fund mobile learning centers, small amphitheaters with a satellite connection and a projector screen that can house many more children than the flat classrooms that are currently being constructed. With this,
How many can you afford at a time?
Well, we hope to have at least 100 at a time, in contrast to the 20 that can currently sit in their classrooms. So by having raised seating, we hope that we'll have more children being able to see the front of the screen, see the teacher at one time. So we can raise the percentage of children who are getting the education, and we can lengthen their lessons so that they can actually be prepared for work. And
there is a language barrier because they speak Rohingya their own language. So how are you going to communicate with that?
So this is how we want to partner with UNICEF. They've done a great job of providing teachers that speak Burmese, speak Bangla, and speak English. And they're teaching them all three languages. So we intend to ask them to borrow their teachers, or the other way around, we provide them with the schools and allow them to teach.
Thank you so much, Alex, for coming to the show and
Thank you for
the
having
great humanity you're showing to the Rohingyas. I hope, like you, and others will come, and this how the crisis will end.
I really hope so too. Thank you so much.
দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম অ্যালেক্স ব্লামের সাথে, প্রযোজক ব্লসমস ফ্রম অ্যাশ ডকুমেন্টারির, এবং তিনি প্রেসিডেন্ট অ্যালেক্স ব্লাম ফ্যামিলি ফাউন্ডেশনের। তিনি যুক্তরাষ্ট্র থেকে ছুটে এসেছেন শুধুমাত্র রোহিঙ্গাদের যে দুর্দশা সেটি বিশ্ববাসীর সামনে তুলে ধরার জন্য। হয়তো এভাবে তার মতো অনেকে ছুটে আসবে এবং রোহিঙ্গাদের যে মানবিক সংকট সেটি পূরণ হবে। দেখা হবে মুখোমুখি অন্য কোনো পর্বে।